It seems like we haven't seen each other in many, many moons. You know what it is? I sometimes forget to hit the button, and then a trade happens, and then I'm like, all right. And then I'm like, I should just go live now, and then I don't go live, and next thing you know, it's 5 hours later. Hi! You all enjoying the greatest market of all time? Did you laugh when you saw the market was gapped down after a holiday weekend? Oh, so simple. I saw a great article this weekend. I can't remember what the title was, but it was something along the lines of why do people make this more difficult than it has to be? I think it might have been on StockTwit, somebody's blog or their near newsletter or something like that. Hello, and it was a great read. It was fantastic. The guy went on to say how we pretty much most people pretty much know what works. They know what doesn't work, and we still keep making the same mistakes. It's like I wrote the article myself. And but the basis was that the industry tries to make it a lot harder than it is. That's the game. That's the joke. Again, your stockbroker doesn't want you to go ahead and think for yourself and do this. He wants you to call him and rely on him so he can make money off you. That's what financial advisement is all about, right? And again, let me sum up financial advice for you. Big Al, Susie Orman, you're fine. Go. You know what that means, right? Buy the dips, long-term investing. My father proves, and Susie Orman, as much as you might think she's just saying cookie cutter things, when you listen to Susie Orman, she says all the right things. If you believe long-term, which I don't anymore, it's very difficult to lose in the market if you buy the dips and you stay long-term focused. My father chose to go with the Qs. Great choice, right? But if you went with GE and were buying dips over the last 15 years, you're nowhere. If Cisco took them 22 years, but buying all the dips on Cisco, then it made it all the way back into the 50s. He kicked ass. Qs, Cisco, Oracle, he's on the top stocks. But again, imagine you've done it with Coinbase and you bought the IPO and you've been buying it. Yeah, you're nice. It's nice to see it back at 80, which anyway, who the hell cares what I'm talking about right now? None of that matters. Let's stay focused on what we did today. It was sick. All right? It was unbelievable. I walked in this morning, same attitude as always. Nothing's changed. We're going to look for VWAP trades on our watch list. And by the way, man, what's up, boy? My watch list is the shiznit now, especially because I don't own it. So since I've dumped my portfolio, have you seen my stocks and what they're doing? I mean, I have set them free, except NNOX. That piece of shit is the worst. But it still went up $1 after I sold it. But my point is, right? Holiday weekend, we rallied. We did what we normally do, rally to the holiday. We rallied that one little day right before, in the middle of the holiday. And usually today, in a bull market, we normally gap up and stay strong today. There was the only thing that didn't work out. We didn't gap up. And you should have been saying one thing. Good. Because normally this day is kind of boring. We usually gap up, we rally, and then we sit around all day looking at each other, wondering why didn't we buy stocks 8 months ago when we start crying about it. That's what normally happens. But today, the stock gods did us a favor. They actually started the market down. Oh my God. July 5th. And by the way, if you're taking notes and creating your own almanac or your trading journal, which you should, write down what happened. Write down, do it. If you're just getting into this job, this industry, this world of trading, follow the rules, keep the trading journal. It is so handy. Write down what you did. Do a little diary. What I used to do before Snap, later on, my buddy Oscar said to me, he's like, why don't you take a snapshot of the screen and then print it out and write your notes on there? I was like, that's a pretty freaking good idea. What I used to do, I used to have graph paper. I would actually write I'd make a little chart, a little tiny miniature of what I did. I would write down what I was thinking, why I did it, and what the market did overall. Kind of like the Stock Traders Almanac. So normally, by the way, you guys see what AAOI is doing? You understand that this stock is now up 300%, probably only because the letters A and I are in the stock. I thought this company went out of business about 2 years ago, AAOI. And again, it has a special place in my heart because it's another stock that crushed my life. I was in this thing in the 50s, got smoked. That's why I liked it. So again, most of the stocks that I traded over the last 18 months have all been awful, horrible, terrible trades or stocks that have made the turn. Let me get that list again. IEP, Hood, AAOI, Para, Schrodinger, don't forget about Schrodinger, and an OX, which is kind of screwing you a little bit right now if you're a long-term holder. Gave it all back. Kenview, Kenview is not one of my. That's that IPO. I still like it because it hasn't really broken down, and I don't own it anymore. CDLX, still in that little beautiful channel. 5 get you 7, 7 get you 5. Carvana obviously came out of that same pattern. IonQ, have you seen this thing lately? $14. Oh my God. Rivian, my play of the century. Rivian coming out of that $15, $15.50 spot. Sold it at $13.75. Watched it go up 100%. I sold my Rivian at $13.75 and I lost 65% on my option play. Now I'd be sitting on a $35,000 profit. Yeah. Woo. Trust me. Again, my best attribute in this industry is you tell me what you own. I'll buy it, either take a small loss or a quick gain, and then it'll go up forever. And man, am I on fire. I have set Rivian free, and I'm going to set all of these stocks free. Every single one of these is going to be a map. Man, Bullfrog is still hanging out doing nothing, but I mean, the list is unbelievable. So what we're going to do on Saturday is we're going to go over that list. I'm going to show you all these trades, and I'm going to show you. And again, I hope you guys really watched the video from about 10 days ago when I said I'm dumping my portfolio. Watch what's going to happen. My number one play is Rivian. Everything told me to own that stock. Everything. The charts, the fundamentals, seeing the trucks. I have a 600 horsepower Challenger. The Rivian took me off the line before I had a chance to blink. And I was like, whoa, Rivian. It was gone. And now I'm seeing them on the road. I'm not a fan of those headlights, but I'm seeing them. And I was seeing the stock, seeing the Rivian, seeing the stock. It's one of those channel checks, like walking down Main Street. It was just calling to me like crack to Pookie. And what did I do? Sold it. But anyway, it's like ancient history now, 2 weeks ago. And then you fast forward to today. Today represents what I've been trying to get through to you. You like ENVX, right? You're loving it, right? You love ENVX now, right? I don't own it. Sold it at $15.50. That was the breakout. You don't have to own it to keep buying it intraday on the dips because today, ENVX, once again, you didn't have to come in long, but at 9:38, when it pulled back to 1850 and held the prior day VWAP, that was your sign that the buyers were still there. And next thing you know, we're back in at 1875 and the stock goes to 1950 and we made some money on the way up. So again, I am staying out of the market, but I got to tell you something I saw today. We saw almost a triple top, but we've also seen a quadruple bottom and a double bottom breakout test. And if that doesn't mean anything to you, show up on Saturday. So show up on Saturday. For 2 hours, I'm going to show you what just happened, where we're going, and what we're going to do. And I'm going to show it all to you. And I'm going to show you how you take the long-term chart, and then stay short-term minded. Long-term chart, see what the stock's going to do. That's why we love Rivian and NOX and ENVX and Carvana and IonQ and Bullfrog and Palantir and AAOI and Hood and IEP. Long-term chart meets short-term trading. So you get a big picture of what you think is going to happen and shrink it back down, stay individually daily minded, and just stick with what's working. Qs were gapped down. The Qs were gapped down after a holiday. That never happens. I mean, it does, but it rarely happens. But then what do? You say, wait a second. The weird guy on the internet said we're probably going to be up today and we're down to start. What does that mean? There's only one where we could go. That's what you were supposed to be saying to yourself. Right. Now, stay focused. Right? You thought it was going to start up today, but it was down. You should say, what? When do I buy? And that's where the VWAP comes back into play into your life. You have your idea. I thought the market was supposed to be up today and it's down. That must mean I should look forward to buy something. Yes, you should. When it breaks VWAP. So it didn't take long for the market to say, yeah, we're not going down. Right? So what did the market do? We started down. We broke VWAP at 908. We start to rally. At 930, the rally continued. When we broke the pre-market highs, we went to the multi-day. Once we got to prior day VWAP, now you got yourself a 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. The 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal on the Qs. This trade has worked pretty much 80% of the time. Notice I didn't say every time. On the Qs, it doesn't work as well as it does on earnings reports. Earnings reports that break the VWAP and the multi-day, so far in 2023, every trade has worked. The Qs is about 80% of the time. 80% of the time, I'll take that shot also. So the Qs are breaking VWAP, multi-day VWAP, and next thing you know, you got the 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. And where'd you go? You kind of basically went back to 372, and then you hung out there. All right, I got to go. I'll see you guys later, then again tomorrow. And then if you haven't sent me an email, send it right now. Send it. thewarlock@hitthebid.com. It's free, baby. I'm hanging out. It's me, my son, and his two knucklehead friends. And I'm doing this 2-hour session with them. And everyone's invited because what I'm going to show my kid is vital because I'm going to Greece for the last 2 weeks of the month. I'm not going to be around. And I'm leaving my kid in charge of everything. So I need to make sure he knows exactly what he's looking at. And I want to make sure you guys exactly know what you're looking at. All right. I'll see you guys. The Warlock at hitthebid.com. And I'll send you an email within the next couple of days, maybe even tonight. If you didn't get your email, I'll get to it. It's me and the Minotaur. All right. And I think the Viper's on some of these, but I'm not sure. Anyway, peace.